Hello everyone, and this activity is what we call Mr. or Mrs. Veggie Fruit Head. And the goal is to take all these objects that are on a flat object right now and actually create a little face on here. So let's begin. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the lock on here, just so that when we delete the background that it becomes transparent. And in order to remove the background, we have a consistent white here. So instead of trying to just sort of paint out this area or erase it in some form, we can actually use what's called the magic eraser. So if we go down here and we choose the magic eraser and click, it totally removes the background. Now, the goal of this particular activity is to separate out all these objects into separate layers. So in order to do that, we can actually separate them out by simply doing this. I'll select out the pumpkin first. And there we go. I'm doing this out of touchpad, so it's very slow. And then once we have that, we can do a copy cut. Okay, and then what we do is we do a special paste, which instead of doing a Command V, it's Shift Command V. So we do that and we hit enter and it pastes it back, and you notice down here, okay, we have a new layer with the pumpkin on it. It's called layer 1. Not a good name. So we're going to change that to pumpkin. Pumpkin. Okay. And what we're going to do is you can do that with every single object. So if I go to the strawberry, and now I'm going to use the keyboard shortcuts, Command X. Oh, hold on. There's an error. Did that on purpose, by the way. That's because we're on the wrong layer. You have to click onto the bottom layer where the strawberry actually exists. Then you can do Command X. Now again, it's Command Shift V to paste. And now we've got our strawberry layer. Okay, and we'll call this strawberry. Okay, and now we're going to switch back to this layer so that every time we do cut something out, it is correct. So we'll do the lettuce, and this time we'll do the whole thing correct instead of showing that error. There we go. And that's Command X, Command Shift V, and we call this one lettuce. Okay, and I'll do one more in slow speed. Okay, Command X. Oop, wrong layer again. Command X, Command Shift V, and that'll be kiwi. Oop, spelled that wrong. Kiwi. There we go. Okay. Okay, now that we've completed all of these, we can actually start drawing. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select, now to select an actual object that's on a different layer, you just hold down the Command key and then you can click any object. It'll automatically switch to the appropriate layer. So I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to drag it over and I'm going to enlarge it. So to enlarge it, you do Command T, and if you want to enlarge it where it stays in essentially the same spot and keep it the same aspect ratio, hold down Shift and Option at the same time, and you notice it stays in the center and I can enlarge it. Okay, and double click it and it stays that size. Now that'll be slightly pixelated because I made it larger. Now one of the biggest problems is this should actually be the background. So we're going to drag this to the bottom on the layer so that all the other objects will be on top. And drag that to the bottom, right to the bottom. Now everything's going to be on top. Now we can start making a face. So again, hold down Command. Obviously that looks like a mouth. Let's move this asparagus out of the way. Use that for something else later. Kiwi could look like, well, you can do actually interesting things. So I'm going to put the kiwi here and maybe strawberry down here. Now you'll notice that can be an eye. And if I want to keep that as an eye, now I can alter this too by, if I do Command T and say I want to shrink it slightly and rotate it like this, say maybe upside down. There we go. And I could double click that, and that could be an eye. Now the interesting thing is, you've got the kiwi and the strawberry. Let's keep them together. Okay, I can actually group this as an eye. So if I do Command G, okay, I call this group, and I'll call this left eye. Then I can actually duplicate this layer, duplicate the group and contents. Oops, what just happened there? Oops, let's undo. What did I do here? Duplicate, oh, duplicate, I said delete group. Duplicate group, and we'll call this one right eye. Okay. And now we've got a second one right on top, and we've got two eyes that are identical. Okay, and then I could use this as like hair. I could use this. Let's see, the lettuce. What will I do with that? I can make that a nose. Let's shrink it down a bit. And then rotate it 180. Maybe a little bit more rotation. There. Double click it, bring it in. Got a nose. Carrots. Oops. Hold on, let's hold down Command. Carrots. What can we do with carrots? We can make them into ears. Let's make them into ears. Maybe shrink it down a touch. Like that. And we'll need that one behind the pumpkin. There we go. And let's duplicate that because we want the exact same size. Okay, carrot, ear, left. And then I'll just move this one over. And again, I will transform it. And to transform it so it flips, I can actually just drag this to the other side like that. And then move it into place. There we go. Well, you get the idea. You can sort of finish this up using the different objects to make an interesting face. So, well, that's our tutorial for today.